Hey guys, we got our hands on what might be one of the best monitors available right now, and honestly, I just wish you came in a bigger size. If you missed that unboxing, you'll find that video linked in the description below. In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at its features, putting you through some tests and sharing our hands-on experience, so let's dive in. First, let's talk about the main display features. This is a 27-inch 4K OLED display with a pixel density of 166 ppi. It is using 4th generation QD-OLED technology and can run at 240Hz refresh rate. To add to this, it uses the latest DisplayPort 2.1a standard and is USB-R20 certified, which means it can handle up to 80 gigabit bandwidth, or in simple terms, 240 FPS at 4K without any compression. But there is one big caveat with that particular element. As of 2025, only Nvidia's latest 5000 series GPUs support this kind of bandwidth. AMD's current generation tops out at 54 gigabit speed, meaning that you'll need some sort of compression like DSC to hit similar resolutions and refresh rates. Enough with the specs, let's go over the monitor itself. It has reasonably small bezels and the overall design is fairly clean, except for the stand, which might not be to everyone's taste. I really wish Asus moved away from the small tripod style base. I prefer keeping my desk space as clear as possible and usually push the monitor all the way to the back. But the back foot makes me constantly worry that it might get pushed off the table. I actually rather like having the VESA mount separate from the stand. It makes it much easier to switch between the two. Instead of having to unscrew and detach the built-in mounting plate from the stand itself, the monitor has the dedicated VESA mount attachment. So if you're using monitor arm or a wall mount, you can leave the VESA plate connected and just detach the stand at the base without any tools. Realistically, this flexibility will only matter to a small group of people who can actually afford this display, though it's still worth mentioning. One nice touch is that it uses passive cooling. There are no built-in fans, so it runs completely silent, even under load. For high-end OLED panel, that is actually really impressive. It also means there is no risk of coil whine or fan noise creeping up into your recordings or distracting you during quiet moments, which is a big plus if you're using it in a quiet workspace or studio. In terms of connectivity, it includes the previously mentioned DisplayPort 2.1, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, and a USB-C that supports DisplayPort Alt mode and 90-watt power delivery, which is useful for charging your laptops or powering accessories. There is also a headphone jack and a USB hub accessible via the uplink cable, offering 3 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports for connecting peripherals like keyboards, mice, or external drives. There is no built-in speakers, and to be honest, I prefer that. If you're buying a $1,000 monitor, you can probably afford a good set of external speakers or quality pair of headphones. The main monitor stand supports all the usual adjustments including the height, tilt, pivot, and swivel. There's also a small projection light underneath, aimed at adding some more gamer flair, but personally I find it more distracting than useful. Let's move on to the main show, the screen itself. This panel looks incredible. Thanks to its QD-OLED technology, you get inky blacks, punchy colors, and excellent contrast, even in darker game scenes. Due to the screen being OLED, it also feels really bright, and that's a lot to do with the contrast between the darkest and the brightest elements on the screen. Color accuracy is also impressive, straight out of the box, as you can see on this factory report. It covers 99% of DCI-P3 color space and over 100% of sRGB and Adobe RGB, making it not just great for gaming, but also more than capable for creative work like photo editing and color grading. HDR support includes HDR10, Dolby Vision, and Display HDR True Black 400. And unlike some panels that oversaturate colors or crush blacks, this one handles tone mapping really well. There's also a uniform brightness setting that helps keep luminance stable across the screen, particularly helpful for desktop use or any color critical workflows where consistency matters. Then there are general usability features like changing the settings via the app and a few designed specifically to extend the life of the OLED panel. The standard one for me is the proximity sensor. I've seen similar implementations before, but Asus has done a particularly good job here. Normally I'd either turn it off or set a long timeout, but with this monitor I've actually configured it in a quite aggressive fashion, with just 1 minute timeout. You can set the detection range with anywhere between 60 and 120 centimeters, or even have the sensor learn your typical sitting position and lock that in. It is especially useful if you're using this as a secondary display that isn't always in front of you. It turns off when you're away and wakes up the moment you return. It also comes with a handful of gaming-focused features like the on-screen crosshair, timer, FPS counter, and various display overlays. The one that really caught my attention is something called Sniper Zoom. It allows you not only to enable the custom crosshair, but also activate a small zoom window in the center of the screen, magnifying part of the image between 1.2x and 2x. It's not something that you would use in every game, but in certain titles, especially in competitive shooters, it could give you a slight advantage when lining up with distant targets. In all honesty, I'm still on the fence about it. What do you think? Is it a clever tool or does it feel a bit like cheating? Let us know in the comments below. Lastly is probably my biggest gripe with it. The size. A 27-inch screen might be ideal for competitive gaming or setups with limited space, but with the display this good, it feels like it deserves to be bigger. A 32-inch version would be a more immersive experience, especially for media consumption, creative work, or just general productivity. The pixel density would still be solid, and the larger size would really let the stunning colors and contrast really shine. Right now, it feels slightly constrained, and if you're sitting slightly further back, you don't really appreciate what this panel can really do. So if you're split between 27 or 32 inches, get the larger option. But all in all, this monitor is easily one of the most impressive gaming monitors I've seen. The image quality is stunning, the motion capture is top tier, and the overall experience feels premium from top to bottom. It's packed with genuinely useful features for both gamers and creatives, and Asus has clearly put effort into solving the real-world OLED concerns like burn-in. That said, it's not perfect. The stand could use a redesign, and a 27-inch size feels a bit limiting on how capable this panel actually is. But if you're after cutting-edge performance and have limited space, this is as good as it gets right now. Thanks for watching. If you think this monitor might be what you need, check out the link below for more details. And as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.